Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Bloodborne. Previously, we were kidnapped by a snatcher and locked away in the Hypogean jail of Yahargul Unseen Village. After escaping, we found another survivor, Sister Adela of the Healing Church, and sent her to Odin Chapel. We may also have learned about the apparent kidnappers in reference to the snatchers, since the School of Mensis, who founded the village, were referred to as kidnappers that claimed to be hunters, essentially. So the item description had said they were hunters in name only, and were truly kidnappers. Since we cleared Cathedral Ward and the villages outside of Yharnam, we will finally head to the gate of the Forbidden Woods, or Forbidden Forest as I prefer, and we will start our search for Bergenworth. So we are going to do, let's see my notes. I actually have this one set up for the left exit. Wrong one. Okay, so you can actually go both ways to get to Bergenworth area, but we're going to go left exit, right path, and head for the courtyard. So second right here, into the courtyard area. And then we basically want to take a left once we get there. So don't take a left before the courtyard, go into the courtyard. And we still have giants around, but they are kind of out of it. I don't know if we can sneak by them. Not that we really need to, but let's see if we can. Huh, cool. That works. I hear the brain sucker. Let's just run on by.
Oh, good to see you safe. Now, let's think up something to discuss. Just tell me what piques your interest.
Okay, we've already asked Alfred about the Healing Church in Bergenworth, so let's ask about the Vilebloods.
Ah, there's something I want to tell you. A bit of wisdom from the eminent master Logarius. Once, a scholar betrayed his fellows at Bergenworth and brought forbidden blood back with him to Cainhurst Castle. It was there that the first of the inhuman Vilebloods was born. The Vilebloods are fiendish creatures who threaten the purity of the Church's blood healing. The ruler of the Vilebloods is still alive today. And so, to honor my master's wishes, I search for the path to Cainhurst Castle.
So we did actually find Cainhurst previously when we were in Hemwick Charnel Lane, just past the first shortcut, essentially. We could see it off in the distance. There was a broken down bridge leading to it. So we already know where to go for that. And of course, at this point in the game, that may not be clear. But that's essentially where what he's looking for is that location. So
I bid you farewell. It has been a pleasure. May the good blood guide your way.
all right. So the entrance to the Forbidden Forest is down this way. Remember, the only thing we needed was the adage of Bergenworth, which is essentially going to serve as the password, fear the old blood.
The password.
He's not looking too lively. Already dead. Yep, okay. Madman's knowledge. Interesting. Is there a particular reason you were able to talk to us even though you're dead? Even in death, he stands guard at the gate. Hey there, Clint. Yeah, I decided to hold on to Henrik's for a bit. So, this place is very mazy, very big. It's very easy to get lost here. So, I just want to put that out on the table that it's not going to be very clear. If you die, it's not very clear on where to go to get back to where you were. And I'm probably going to get lost too. So I have a list of kind of main items to look for. Otherwise, I'm just going to do my best to clear this place. And if you die, you die. You know, it's a FromSoft game. Should be used to it by now. You just got to do your best to find the way back. So those were the windmills we could see from up top, around where Alfred was, where we just talked to him. I do believe... Nope, nope. This way. Already running into beasts. So those are essentially, like oil urns that they're throwing at us. I do believe we want to go down, but... we're going to investigate up first. We haven't even got to the lantern for this place yet, and it's already turning into a maze. So there is a lantern, it's just, like I said, gotta get to it first. Nothing over here. I did buy the... I think I bought the lantern for myself, right? I should probably equip that and keep it on, because it is kind of dark down here. Let's equip that. We haven't used it yet. Maybe I haven't bought it. Huh. I could have swore I bought that. Oh, you know what? I bet I did buy it. And that's when I reset my game. I tell you, what this damn set has cost me in the long run. We did it for Eileen, okay? Probably bought the frickin' thing before she died, and then reset it. So let's head back down. We gotta find the lantern for this area. So I don't really dislike this place, but like I said, it can be a little frustrating if you die. Just bear with it. So first lantern, actually only lantern, I think. Ooh. And shortcut. Oops. The clothes are looking a bit light colored. So not only are we in the midst of a fashion change, so are the peeps we are around. Why do I have so many blood echoes? That seems like a lot of blood echoes. Why do I have 20,000 blood echoes? Whoa! Forgot about that. Forgot about that. Pressure plate under the wood. Under the wood. Um, forgot about that. Don't walk over that like me. Do as I say, not as I do. Check something really quick. We're gonna leave that. We're going to play this a little different. We're gonna drop down here. Ooh, I see you. Alright. I do believe there are doggos here, plus... No, don't you dare. Fire dudes. They're basically luring us into a trap. Of a sort. If you've noticed already, some of them are carrying oil urns. Alright. Maybe I'm just getting that many blood echoes and I'm not realizing, because now I'm almost at 30,000. That just seems like a lot. It seems like a lot. I'm not complaining, but just didn't think this area warranted that many. Alright. The maze starts already. Which way do we go? So, I do believe I am contradicting my own notes here by walking over this way. Oh wow. So we have a gate over here to a little village area. I'm gonna backtrack really quick and see where the other one goes to. Not only is the place a maze in general, it's a maze in the fact that even though I've played this 100 times, I still don't remember where these locations go. Not like that's really new for me in gaming. I mean, I see that. Okay, that's a trap. That ledge is gonna break if you walk out into it. Into it, onto it. That didn't sound right. We'll go towards the main gate. And I think there's another trap over there. Yeah, I can see it from here. Better to trip it and not have it active. Okay, lots of people here. Just a bit of tact here. Bit of tact. We don't need too much. That's another trap. You see the wood at the center? I like how they say I'm cursed. It's interesting, the fact that they're turning and they don't realize it. And it makes you question what's happening to us that we don't know about. Or what's possibly happening to us that we don't know about. Jumped in here. Ooh. That's cool, you can smash the birdcage. I didn't know that. Beast blood pellets. I never really used the beast blood pellets. Don't underestimate the use of items in the game just because I don't generally use a lot of them. They can be very useful and very fun in some ways. Beast blood pellets are a double-edged sword, though. So the idea behind the beast blood pellet is that you deal more damage as you start making consecutive hits, but you also take more damage, which can be great if you're fighting an enemy that you're not going to get hit by or that doesn't hit hard. So if it's kind of a moment of don't get hit. Hey, I didn't even see you there. I thought I heard some snarls there. That explains why. Let's see. Where are we heading back here? What the heck? Where this voice is coming from? I did not realize. That's interesting. Did not realize. Does not open from this side. I wonder if this is an area I'm actually not familiar with. Okay, we're gonna do some investigating while we're here. There are items back there, and I feel like I know that area, but am I literally just walking around to it? Okay, never mind, I think I know what that is. I'm gonna chip this. I think that's just a place that I usually don't go to from that angle. And I remember that shortcut, and I remember it being useless. So I'm like, how am I going to even remember that door's there? And by the time I find out like where the door is, I'm already lost. Alright. That's the break-off point. So earlier I said that if you walk to the edge, it would break and you would fall. That's the location. It's not really a major thing. Like if you fall, it's not a big deal. And we're gonna ignore that way for now because we're gonna rope back around. Previously, there was a hill we could go up to another part of the village. And there's actually a lantern there. You can see an incense lantern. This is actually really interesting. So, if you happen to be a avid FromSoft fan, this voice may sound familiar.
Oh, a hunter of beasts, are you? Glory be, you know not the value you possess. But more's the pity. The hours of the night are many, and the beasts more than I can count. A veritable hunt unending. Not even death offers solace, and the blood imbibes you. A most frightful fate. Oh my. But I'm willing to do you a kindness. Step lightly round to the right of the great cathedral and seek an ancient, shrouded church. The gift of the Godhead will grant you strength. Yes, I'm unquestionably certain.
So he's referring to the entrance to Yarhagul Unseen Village, the true entrance, which is, if you go from Odin Chapel to the Grand Cathedral, take a right, where we fought those two hunters a while back, and you go all the way down to this large open room with a door that's closed, and kind of stand near the door. He's talking about the thing that comes by the door. You need to basically encounter that. Now this is this item you actually need in your possession before you do that. Let's take a look at it. And it's really similar to the Eye of a Blood-Drunk Hunter in some ways. So these two items basically are connected with the Nightmare Realms, which we have not been to yet. And this is the first point in the story where you can access the Nightmare Realm if you don't have the DLC, which gives you the second one, the Eye of the Blood-Drunk Hunter. So the Tonsil Stone, a lattice deformed rock or perhaps a meteorite, appears useless but possesses some odd gravitational force that prevents its riddance. A dubious soul once said, "Step lightly round the right side of Grand Cathedral and seek an ancient shrouded church. The gift of the Godhead will grant you strength." And so it's referring to that. I kind of just refer to it as the Yarhagul Chapel. I don't know if that's actually the official Yarhagul Chapel. So we do have access to that now, and if you want to access this early, you can. I'm going to be saving all the Nightmare Realms until later in the game, though, until the end, essentially. So if you're interested in doing this earlier, I would say finish off the Forbidden Forest first, and maybe before you go to Bergenworth, use the Tonsil Stone. And I'll make sure that there's a, the video will refer to something called the Nightmare Frontier. So if you want to skip ahead to that and do that early, I'm going to be way OP by the time I get there, but I just don't care. The place is not worth it. There's nothing there that makes me want to go there early, and I just don't care. So it makes more continuity sense to me if we just do it later. Let's see if he has anything else to say, and we'll take off.
Not even death offers solace, and the blood imbibes you. Seek you the ancient shrouded church, hidden to the right of the main cathedral. The gift of the Godhead will grant you strength.
Now, when we do end up going to the Nightmare Frontier, that voice is we're gonna end up running into this character eventually, a few times. And so he's connected to the Nightmare Frontier particularly. So if you're not familiar with who it is, I'll kind of reveal that later. But if the voice sounds familiar, it may sound familiar for a reason. And this is a character that's connected to Dark Souls and I think Demon's Souls as well. And there are doggos over here. Before they start getting out, because I'm sure they can. Okay, that is a trap up there. We're not going to go through there. Not much of a trap, but a trap nonetheless. White church set. Yes. Nothing better than a completely white outfit in a game where it can get just slathered in blood. Am I right? Okay, they're all the same. I think like I said, the gloves are the same as the ones we got for the black church garb. So this is the white church garb. Attire of special church doctors. These doctors are superiors to the black preventative hunters and specialists in experimentally backed blood ministration and the scourge of the beast. They believe that medicine is not a means of treatment, but rather a method for research, and that some knowledge can only be obtained by exposing oneself to sickness. I bet these people would just have a ball with the ethics boards today. You're not getting through the IRB there, people. Sorry to say. And nor should you. So as it said, medicine should be used for research rather than treatment, so they believe they're scholars of a sort. And like I said, they wouldn't get past the IRB nowadays, which is Institutional Review Board for Ethical Research when dealing with certain types of subjects. So the white-garbed hunters, it also pointed out, are superiors to the black-garbed hunters, who were the ones that essentially went out and looked for beasts or people they thought might be infected and basically cut them down. So, Healing Church isn't a very nice group, is it? We could switch it to it and play with it a bit, but let's see, what's its highest? We're looking at high blood defense, high arcane. It looks like it's... How's that compared to this? It looks like everything's more on the arcane side in general. Like even fire and bolt is high. It's actually not a bad set if you're not dealing with something that's dealing physical damage. So not bad at all. Wait, how did I get up here? How do I get up here? Oh, there we are. I got lost on the roof. Pathetic, right? Oh, doggos! Doggos! No, more doggos! Okay, there is a snatcher over here. Now, we don't need to worry about them snatching us anymore, but I also don't want to die. So this is the kind of trap. Like I said, it's not really a trap as much as he shuts the door on us kind of a situation. Okay, I don't remember which side the snatcher's on. I think he's around the corner here. I just don't know which way he's facing. They're really hard to sneak up on. Oh, crap. I said they hit hard. And they hit slow. Okay. My viscerals are getting better against them. Very nice. Twin bloodstone shards. I'm going to clear this little house, and then I'm going to point something out. Ooh, beast roar. I do believe that is a, let's check, Hunter's Craft. Okay, Hunter's Craft is the other trophy. No. Where did those go? Consumables, right? Yeah. So Beast Roar. So this is for the Hunter's Craft trophy. I think we've only got one item to fit this bill yet. So we have quite a few of these to get. Beast Roar. One of the forbidden hunter tools made by Irreverent Izzy. Borrow the strength of the terrible undead dark beasts, if only for a moment, to blast surrounding foes back with the force of a roaring beast. I've never used this before. That sounds kind of cool. The indescribable sound is broadcast with the caster's own vocal cords, which begs the question, what terrible thing lurks deep within the frames of men? And that kind of goes back to the thought that I was, or to my thoughts when I was saying, what if the people, the townspeople, don't know that they're turning? What does that mean for us? Um, so I've actually never really used these Hunter's Craft items. So I think that's something we should definitely consider playing with in New Game Plus, because clearly I can't use them. I don't know if that's tied to Blood Tinge or Arcane or what. I'm assuming Arcane, but it could be a Blood Tinge thing. So back here is a pathway. So it's just a little bit hidden off the beaten path. But if you're searching like a true RPG player, you're probably going to find this anyway. We're not going to go down here quite yet. We're going to progress a little bit further into the forest, and then we will come back here with the hopes that I don't die in the process. Fingers crossed, right? We got past the biggest obstacle. The Snatcher is by far the biggest obstacle. Can't deny that they hit hard. They're also terrifying looking, aren't they? I mean, look at that. Such a cool enemy design. So, these are the people I think we could hear from down in the village. Because we were down off to the right. Bring the heat. No pun intended, actually. So these are the guys that were above us. When I was walking into that water path, that's over there, and you can also see there's some of those, I don't know what those are called. Those are the things that were in the Central Yarnum Aqueduct. I don't know exactly what they are. So, what will give us access to that useless shortcut? It's gotta be like right here somewhere, right? Not right here. Maybe it's further down the way. I think it's further down the way. Molotovs. Lots of them. And just say heads up. There is a huntsman way down the line with a cannon. You can only shoot in one direction. It's mounted, but it deals out damage, quite a bit of damage. So if you get any whiff of it going off, get out of the way. Twin bloodstone shards are great. That means we can upgrade Bloodwig's blade. There it is. This is the shortcut. I knew this room looked familiar. So this goes back to the village. Like I said, to me this is kind of a pointless shortcut. I mean, like, just finding this room is a pain enough, but now that I'm thinking about how it connects, I think I could get there quick. Maybe we should make a run for it at some point just to test it out. Okay, let's use it. Use it. It's not going very far, is it? Okay, this is kind of like the halfway point of the forest. And there's a shortcut after it, which is why I wanted to come down this way first. With the hopes, again, that I do not die. I hear snarls. Let's clear this area. It's one of those maps where you're just like, how far does this place go? And it just keeps on going. You're like, shouldn't I have hit like a lantern by now? It's like, no, you're close. You're always close. You just gotta go a little bit further. Okay. Yeah, my notes take me up to the next location. So, ahead of us here, those are the windmills that we were seeing. Who's shooting? I see you. How am I supposed to get up there? Question answered. Is dropping down here gonna kill me? I ask and then I immediately drop off without a second thought. Hey there, Bree. Alright, I think we've cleared everything out of here. So, let us progress into the windmill. And then we'll head back to the cave. The Suspicious Cave. Well, I suppose now the place is cleared. The cave's not really a big deal, but I still like having the, access to the lantern. Before we head outside, we can actually climb the rafters here. Actually, before I even do that, while I'm down here, this door over here is just another shortcut that goes on into the next section of the woods. So don't really worry about it. There's nothing you can do with it at this point. And that kind of goes to show just how big this location is. Because, I mean, honestly, it hasn't taken me that long to clear this place, but again, that's clearing this place while knowing what I'm getting into and being familiar with the place. Which immediately makes things go a lot quicker, so. We're gonna drop down. Alright, so this is kind of an interesting location. If you overlook this, that is Bergenworth. ahead of us. That's the Bergenworth Observatory. So that is our kind of end destination down here. We're still not going to get there for a while, but I love the fact that you can see it off in the distance. It's kind of a pretty looking place, if you ask me. Alright. So, poison knives, very nice. All right. What do you think? Just the least bit suspicious. There's 3 dead bodies, and he's chewing on a child. And there's blood everywhere.
Oh! Blimey, don't scare me like that. On a night like this, I took you for a monster. Oh, thank the stars, you're fairly normal. Was it you who put down that awful beast? Ooh, that thing had me trembling, frozen in my boots. And then you came along. Well, if you're a hunter, then would you know of any safe havens?
I don't think I've ever seen a person question this one before. We're clearly not sending him to the chapel, right? This just does not look right. Let's send him to the clinic.
Well, I'll be. Thank you. It's about time I made a move. I can't very well stay out on my own. Oh, you're giving me hope. Terribly kind of you. Take this. It's all I can offer as thanks.
I'm not going to complain.
Thank you. It's about time I made a move. I can't very well stay out on my own.
Let me know how that works out for you. Okay. So... torch, I can't see a thing. There is an item. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm missing an item. I know I'm missing something. That's the one. Nice find if you're interested in big booms. So, cannon. Large prototype firearms fashioned by the workshop heretics, the powder kegs. Use of this weapon is equivalent to toting a mounted cannon into battle, complete with its ridiculous weight, staggering kick, and lavish use of quicksilver bullets. Such a monstrosity was doomed from the start, and indeed its development was cut short. Yet, against impossibly gigantic foes, it might be just the thing. So, there is a fight in the Chalice Labyrinth way later in the game, like near the end, that is ridiculously hard. And I always wondered if I souped this thing up and threw some points into Blood Tinge, how powerful could I make this? Could you imagine? I kind of wonder if it's worth the investment. I feel like that's something we should explore. Eventually. Eventually. We want to explode things a little bit, right? Just a little bit? Just a little bit? Okay, let's head to the lantern. And then we'll head to the shortcut. Yeah. The second half of the woods are not hospitable places to be. It's not a hospitable place to be. We're gonna be seeing more of those guys. In fact, we already killed one. The duder I put down inside the windmill was one of them. Okay, here's the shortcut, but I'm gonna grab this first.
Ah, a new face, are you? And an accomplished hunter, it would appear. I am Volta, Master of the League. Members of the League cleanse the streets of all the filth that's spread about during the hunt. Like any half-decent hunter ought to, you know? Haven't you seen enough of these wretched beasts? Freakish slugs and mad doctors? Sentence these fiends to death with the help of your League confederates. What do you say? Why not join the League?
Yeah, so that's Volter. Volter with his bucket helmet. I have to say, he wears what they call the constable set, plus the bucket helm. If you take the bucket helm away, I think it's actually a pretty nice looking set. If you don't, you know, if you like the aesthetic. So as he said, he's the master of the League. Essentially, the League are it's like a co-op group where you co-op with I don't know exactly how it works. I just know you can get vermin somehow out of this. I don't know if it's cooperating with hunters, like how that works exactly, but I know you get vermin from doing some co-op stuff. I don't know if it's actually killing other hunters or if it's just straight up co-op, because I've never actually done much online stuff. Now the vermin are kind of interesting. They're like the centipede-like creatures, and apparently they can only be seen if you, I think if you're a member of the League. So they're called confederates of the League. So we'll join. It's not going to hurt us or anything.
Yes, as a hunter well should. Commit this to heart. Our own Carol rune, symbol of the League.
Impurity rune. This is actually important as well, and one of the reasons you might want to join them. If you have the impurity rune, you can summon them to help you, and I think that's how you get vermin, is if people summon you to help. I think that's how that works. Kind of like the covens in Dark Souls.
The night brims with defiled scum and is permeated by their rotten stench. Just think, now you're all set to hunt and kill to your heart's content. Hunt in cooperation with your fellows, your League confederates.
So I think that's how that works. And if you equip the Impurity Rune, you can get, you can actually do some offline stuff with it by getting people to help you with certain fights, which is really nice. It's a good reason to have it. So we're back here, back at the lantern. So now we have a shortcut. Let's head back down to the cave. That made me think of the song by Mumford and Sons. So the cave is actually pretty cool. I think it's one of my favorite parts about the forest. Hey, Firebird. Welcome, welcome. Okay, how the heck do I get out of here? I think this puts us at ground level. Or close to it. With where we started. Yeah, there we are. Oh look, is that another incense house? Or is that just a random lantern? That's a building you can go in, I think. I don't know. Backtrack. So we want to head back up to where the dog pins were. So just head back to the entrance of the village and essentially head upwards. Back to where we heard a familiar and yet suspicious voice. And then we basically want to take a left here into the brush. Now this place does bring us to a poison pool, so, you know, it wouldn't be a FromSoft game without a poison pool. So, just in case, you might want your antidotes ready. And this is lovely already. Bones. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. Exactly what we wanted. And don't fall to your death. That'd be a sad way to die after everything. And the game's giving you a hint there. That looks like death. That's a one-word summation of this entire game, right? That looks like death. So we don't really need to fight these guys. If you want to, go for it. You can kind of give them the runaround. Don't remember if there's anything down here. I'm gonna check though. I don't think I've ever actually come through this. I see lots of wormies. I'm not gonna bother with it. The wormies are really hard to deal with. Don't waste your time on them. Vertical slash weapons, like this is an extended version, or slamming on them might deal with them, but they can dish out damage quite a bit. Okay, let's try to do this quick. We're gonna go up, but first there's an item over here. Items. I think we're good. Longest ladder ever. Not really. Metal Gear Solid 3 will always take that title, I'm sure. Anybody remember the ladder from Metal Gear Solid 3? I actually like those kind of sequences. It's kind of like the stairs from Final Fantasy VII. So, bodies that look vaguely human. Lots of bodies. Dumped and burned, it looks like. There's more. Looks like a dumping ground. Now this place should look familiar to an extent. So, that is Iosefka's clinic. And this is Central Yharnam, where we began the game. Talk about some fun interconnectivity. Remember, we could not get into the clinic previously. Iosefka didn't want us inside, and suddenly her whole persona changed. And she said, yes, send people here. The more the merrier. And I'm like, that didn't sound right, and your voice changed. There is a brain sucker down here, I do believe. I'm gonna... Ugh. Dead horse is crunchy. Oh. Crap. I hate those things. Alright, so now that I've actually played Dark Souls 3, every time I see a well, I think of Sigurd being at the bottom of it. just throw my armor down, I'll be fine. Like, that doesn't sound safe, dude, and I'm gonna hit you in the head. Poor Sigurd. Alright. I'm getting destroyed by carrying crows. I would never die to something so simple. Never say never. Anything up here? Alright. So, we're gonna head inside, see what's going on here. I believe this is one of the doors, if not the door. Let's just open it and find out. This is the room, I think, where we originally woke up. This is the door that we were talking to Iosefka from after we woke up and left the place and returned. So that'll bring us back to the lantern. I should show it just to confirm. So there's the first floor sick room lantern. And this was the door where we would talk to her. Now I just put down the celestial being here. Iosefka's blood vial. So remember, Iosefka gave us a blood vial at the beginning of the game. So why would a celestial being be holding her blood vial? Canehurst summons. Let's see. That'll be a key item. Yes. Canehurst summons. An old blood-stained summons inviting an honored guest to the Forsaken Castle Canehurst. Rather baffling, is addressed to you. Do not hesitate. The stagecoach leaves from Hemwick Crossing. So, the Canehurst summons is addressed to the player character, to us. Now remember, I said that the Castle Canehurst, you could see it in the distance when we were at Hemwick. After you take the shortcut up into the top of the buildings after you pass through the barn type area. And you can see Canehurst off in the distance. But I said the bridge was gone, so this always I thought was kind of interesting. Is it possible that we actually came to Yharnam not for Pale Blood necessarily, but also, or not just Pale Blood, but also because of this? Or maybe this is the original reason we came to Yharnam? So our character doesn't seem to quite have their full memory, because it says rather baffling. It is addressed to you like we didn't know that. And I think there was a insinuation early on that we may have lost some of our memory, which I think is really interesting. Okay, so we have a dead celestial being carrying Iosefka's blood. And we have another one. Beast. So it's a next level beast rune. Let's see. So we've already read this, but I'll just reread it. A transcription of the roar of the labyrinth beast. The bearer of the beast. Rune has accentuated temporary transformation effects. Beast is one of the early Carol runes as well as one of the first to be deemed forbidden. The discovery of blood entailed the discovery of the undesirable beasts. I'll comment a little bit more on what that means in a second. And there's another body. Another celestial being. I think they're called celestial minions. Like formal name. Communion. Which one are you again? That must be the max vials. Okay. So, I don't know if, I'm assuming these could be stacked. So you could really up how many vials or bullets you carry. Because I think there's one for bullets. Yeah, we got the max bullets one already. They go up to +4. Honestly, I usually just sell the lower level for these. Because I'm like, I never use them to begin with. There's a few occasions where I have used them, but to me, you just end up running out of blood vials more often than not. Beast ones, I don't really ever use those. I usually hold on to most of the runes, but the low-level Communion and Formless Odin ones, I usually just don't bother with those. See, that'd be what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could potentially up your vials and bullets to 10. So 30 and 30. Or 30, or 30, I should say, if you stack them. Alright. So, we're going to get some kind of interesting dialogue up here, so I'm just going to kind of let this play out. And then I'll kind of explain what's going on here as best I understand it.
Moonlit scents. How did you worm your way in here? Very unfortunate. I had such high hopes for you. Well, I won't make any excuses. Would you mind leaving us alone? Things need not change. You'll do the rescuing, and I'll do the saving. But if you refuse to leave... Oh well. I've always wanted to try my hand on a hunter.
So, yeah. I don't know if there's any notes in here. So you can go upstairs and confront her. You have choices here. That is who we've been talking to at the door. The one that's been saying, send people here. Now, early on in the game, I had mentioned that Iosefka's voice changed, and also I said her personality did a 180, essentially. She originally told us she wanted us to leave because she didn't want us infecting her patients. She said, it's not personal, I don't mean anything by it, but I just don't want you here because you're a danger to them. And she said, the only thing I can do for you is give you this, and she gave us the blood vial. Iosefka's blood vial. Right by the door, we found one of the celestial beings holding Iosefka's blood vial. That was Iosefka. We killed Iosefka. She wasn't the person that's been talking to us. Her voice changed because that was an imposter. Who the imposter is, you know, there's some indications as to who the imposter is. We'll talk more about her later. I'm going to take her advice here and leave for reasons that I will explain later in the game. You can go up there and fight her and get a rune from her. She's a very tough battle, at least she was for me the first time I played this. Last time I played this, I was able to get her in one go, but she is a tough fight, so just be aware of that. I will fight her in New Game Plus, but we're going to come back later on when she's a little bit more docile, because we're going to get something else for waiting. Something that I think is more worth it than the rune at this point. So we're going to get the heck out of here. We're going to leave. Now you might be wondering, who is the other celestial being? That was the what is the game? That was the suspicious beggar, the guy that we just met out in the woods. The one who's standing over the 3 dead bodies and eating the child. Yeah, that's who had the beast rune. If we had sent the other survivors to this place, they'd all be turned into celestial beings as well, I'm assuming. I've never done it before. But that's why, at the beginning, when you have a choice to send people to Iosefka's clinic or to Odin Chapel, you're essentially deciding what their fate is going to be. Where is the hole? We're going to head back down to the woods. Now, there's a couple of other things we can do regarding survivors. So, we've saved everybody that we can save to an extent. So when we get to New Game Plus and New Game 2 Plus, which I do plan on doing at least 2 full extra runs through this to kind of see a bit more of the game and you know, for fun, why not? We'll play around with the survivors in those. We'll kind of send them. We'll play around with how we deal with them. What I'm going to do next time is probably send the suspicious man to the chapel and see what happens, because I've never seen that before. I have an idea of what happens because I've read about it. I just never actually observed it myself. And let's get rid of that. And then maybe we'll do one where we send them all to Iosefka's clinic and see what happens there, because I've never seen that either. I'm just assuming they all become celestial beings. Hey, where'd you come from? I wonder if the area reset. Yeah, I think the area reset. I might just go out on a limb here and say the area is reset. I don't see the guy guarding the door. Oh, there they are. Okay, well, we'll just run this out. Just leave him there. Try to catch me. There we go. We're back. Alright, let us... What are we gonna do? Let's, Cold Blood, right? Frenzy, Cold Blood, do... Take off the antidotes. We gotta do... Let's see if there's anything I can... Actually, I'm gonna check if there's stuff I can sell, but let's check upgrades first. And repair equipment. Fortify, so we need bloodstone chunks. We're not gonna get bloodstone chunks for a while. One of the reasons you might want to go to the Nightmare Frontier early is you will find bloodstone chunks there, I do believe. That is the only reason I can think of to go there early. It's totally up to you if you want to do it. I'm not doing it. Okay. So we just need a few more and we can do this bad boy again. And then we'll have that fully upgraded. Again, I kind of wonder if it's worth upgrading the pistol for the slots. I mean, it doesn't hurt, right? How much does it take to get a slot? I'm not really going to use them. I'll save the twin bloodstones for the Ludwigs for now. But I've never actually used these, so I might as well use them. Can I slot stuff in the torch? I don't know if that's really worth it. Let's see. I don't really need the cannon. We'll do some fashion born here in a sec. I'll check out the new blood gems, but I don't think I can use any of those. I should probably check the blood gems first. Okay, saw cleaver. Anything better damage-wise? No. And nothing on the circular crescent ones. Yeah, this might not have any more slots. I'm just going to upgrade the pistol anyway, though, because I really don't... I'm going to use it anyway. I could do the blood attack. I don't know if the HP recovery is really worth it. I mean, is +2 helping at all? I guess I have it equipped all the time, so it might, but I'm kind of tempted to throw the blood tinge onto it. I'm going to hold on to that just in case. Okay. Files, anything new? I'm going to stick with these, I think. Oh wait. I can slap on the impurity one. Why not? So these fourth runes, I think these are all tied to certain groups of people, I think, like how we have the co-op stuff, for instance. So by having impurity on, you might see some more summons in the world than you would otherwise, which is nice. There's particularly one that's really hard in the DLC where you can get a summon if you have this. And I still don't have much insight, unfortunately. That should change relatively soon. But let's do a quick look at the bath. Nothing here. We should really dress up the messengers, hey? What do we want to put on the messengers? Accessories. Alright, top hats, black messenger top hats, bloody messenger bandage, red messenger ribbon. What's the bloody messenger bandage? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I'm going to leave him with the bandage. That's the first time we've dressed up the messengers. Thoughts, comments, concerns. Throw them at me. Do you like or not like? Alright, let's see. Blood cocktails I'll get rid of. Pebbles I'll get rid of. Beast Roar I want to put away. Numbing Mist I probably don't really need. I don't really use that stuff. Okay. Blunt attack. I don't think I can even use the triangle ones. I don't know what those even go into. The blood attack one I'll hold on to. Attack versus beasts. I think that's the one I got from the gold medal. I don't know if I'm ever actually going to use that.
Welcome home, good hunter. What is it you desire? Very well. Let the echoes become your strength. Let me stand close. Now shut your eyes.
So 5 levels. Okay. Not bad. I could just plot my endurance all the way up. Or I could get my strength through its first cap. Oh, decisions. I don't like decisions. Or I could balance it. Let's do that. Level 52. Not bad.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
Alright, let's do a little bit of fashion here, because we got a new outfit. What's I got? Alright. So, I like the black one better for sure. But I could see this being really fun to get like blood all over it. I feel like we need to get it nice and bloody at least once, right? Minus the hood. I don't need the hood. It's not like a badass mage hood. I suppose it could be, but... Oh, come on. My weapon's clipping through the sleeve. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Alright, I think that is a good spot to leave things off on. After I look and see if there's anything I can purchase yet. I still haven't purchased the Tomb Prospector stuff. I don't know if there's any weapons I need either at this point. I suppose I might as well, let's buy the pants. Might as well use these, and we'll use the rest on, say, blood vials. We have more blood vials. Bullets are... I tend to pick up blood vials more than bullets. Alright, that is a good place to close things out. To recap, we briefly met up with Albert in Cathedral Ward. Again, where we learned that he is searching for the path to Canehurst Castle. That assumption can kind of be made if you know enough about the backstory on them. And then we made our way to the gate at the Forbidden Woods because he was standing in that same location. So he's moved since we first met up with him. We met a few new people in the woods. So first was a mysterious character at the Red Lantern house, at the Incense Lantern that gave us the Tonsil Stone. Now, as the stone said, it was not a literal tonsil stone, but some kind of meteor-type rock substance, whatchamathingy, technical term, I don't know. But basically it directed us to the chapel off to the right of the Grand Cathedral if you're heading up the stairs towards it, the area that leads to Yahar'gul, where you're kind of in that little kind of very open room, and there's kind of a circular spot in the center. So we went there a couple episodes back. That's essentially where it was directing us to, and we're gonna end up seeing that eventually. So we'll kind of build on that later on once we get to that point, what that is and all. If you want to go ahead and do the Nightmare Frontier, I will. Like I said, I'll have that as the title of the episode where I tackle it. But I'm waiting till late game. This is a perfect time level-wise to go there. So if you want to go there early, just skip ahead to that video once I get that up. If you're following this while I'm still making it, sorry, it's going to be a bit before I get there. But like I said, just continuity-wise, I think it makes more sense to do it then. The only thing you're going to get out of it early is maybe a unique item and some bloodstone chunks. So if you want that kind of stuff now, go there now. We also met another survivor in the woods. This one was standing over 3 dead bodies, one of which was a child that he was eating, and there was blood all over the place. So we directed him to Iosefka's clinic instead of the chapel, because I did not trust him to be around the people at the chapel. And I also sent him there for another reason. And the last person we met in the woods was another hunter, this one named Walter, who is the leader/master of the League. So basically a group of Confederate hunters that hunt these centipede-like vermin. Now, as I said, I believe that is a co-op thing where if you help somebody else who summons you for assistance, you get the vermin for killing certain things. I don't know exactly what it ties to. I just know it's co-op. I don't think it counts for other people. I think it has to be like a beast or an enemy of some sort in the game. I'm not entirely sure on that, though. It's kind of similar in the way to how covens work in Dark Souls, as far as I understand it. And we're going to see more factions like that later on. There's not as many of those in this game as there were in the Dark Souls games. So outside of the people of the woods, there were 2 other points of interest. The first was that we could see the observatory of Bergenworth from the windmill, which I thought was really cool. And the other was that the cave out in the woods that led us back to Central Yarnum, right next to Iosefka's clinic, ironically. There we actually discovered some more evidence about what was going on at the clinic. So we found Dr. Iosefka and the suspicious beggar both turned into the celestial beings. So if you don't know how to interpret the evidence, Iosefka's the one that gives it away the most. I'm sure the others will have their way of giving it away, but we'll test it out in New Game Plus or 2 Plus eventually to see how that turns out. I do believe those are referred to as celestial minions, and we'll run into more of those as we push on. And the reason that they were changed is because there's an imposter, Iosefka, who has been experimenting on them. And we decided to heed her advice and leave the place for now, and we will go back there at a later point, when she is a little bit more docile, because right now she is going to try to shred us, and the payoff for going to her later is more interesting than the payoff we would get right now. In New Game Plus, I will face off against her so we can see what that looks like. She is a tough fight, though, so if you choose to fight her, just be aware of what you're walking into. She has some weaponry tied to the arcane that can hit really hard, so just be careful with her. So because of that, it's good that we didn't send any of the other survivors to her. So if you're wondering why I was sending everybody to the chapel except the beggar, that is why. They were going to be... I'm assuming they get turned into beans. I've never actually done it and tried it myself, but that's my assumption. Another interesting thing that we found at the clinic was the Canehurst summons, which brings us to one of the coolest and one of my favorite places in the game, Castle Canehurst, or Canehurst Castle. So the more interesting thing, though, is that the summons was actually addressed to us. So I thought it was kind of ironic in a few ways. First of all, Alfred was just telling us at the beginning of this episode that he's been searching for the path to Canehurst. He wants to hunt down the Queen of the Vile Bloods, who's still alive, essentially, and he needs to know the way to get there, and we just found the way. So, kind of an ironic conversation to be having with him. The other part is the fact that, like I said, it's tied to us, and so, and it said baffling, that it was a baffling thing that was tied to us, because that means that we must have lost our memory, I would think. That, or we just weren't expecting it? I'm not entirely sure. There's been some implication that we've lost our memory at an earlier point in the game. There's clearly, like, our character knows some stuff about Yharnam because they knew enough to ask Alfred about the Healing Church and Bergenworth, and I guess the Healing Church, maybe we got that information from Gilbert, and that's why we knew to ask about it, but I can't remember if Gilbert said anything about Bergenworth specifically. So it makes me wonder, what was our real purpose for coming here? The seek Pale Blood and transcend the hunt was us, we wrote that, but we also have a summons to Canehurst. What was our real reason for coming here? Was Canehurst the real reason we came here, and somehow we got wrapped up in this search for Pale Blood, or was it a multi-purpose? We came here for both. I don't know. So for now, we decided to leave the imposter Iosefka. Like I said, we will come back to visit her later. So we're going to leave her alone for now. We made our way back into the woods, and next time we are going to continue our search for Bergenworth. With that said, let us close things out. I will be continuing tonight, so if you are here live, stick around. Otherwise, thank you all for joining, and I will see you all later.